Well, let's get this started. Greetings from the stars above, or I guess just greetings since this intergalactic journey has brought Mario and Co. up to my domain. I am Neon Star, and I, like many others, have many opinions on the quality of the Super Mario Galaxy film. I was excited for this film, an adaptation of one of my favorite games of all time with epic sweeping landscapes and a surprisingly bittersweet and heartfelt story tucked away inside a cute storybook. Though the totality of such an experience perhaps could never be encompassed in a film made by Illumination. The film starts with Rosalina reading a story to the Lumas before being attacked by Bowser Jr. and the Megaleg robot. Though she holds her own, she gets captured and sends a Luma to the Mushroom Kingdom to find Peach. Later, on the night of Princess Peach's birthday, the Luma crashes down to the surface among the shooting stars and asks for Peach's help. Peach accepts and leaves the Toad to help rescue Rosalina, leaving the kingdom in Mario and Luigi's hands. However, not too long after Peach leaves, does Bowser Jr. attack the kingdom in an attempt to free his father from his prison by extricating the castle from the Earth. Though his initial attempt fails, the resulting chaos leaves the brothers stranded on another planet and embarking on their own journey to find Peach and defeat Bowser Jr. Oh, and Yoshi is here too. And Birdo, and Wart, and Fox the Cloud, and the Pikmin, and Mauser, and Mr. Game & Watch, and Rob, and Sonic, and Captain Falcon, and Pikachu, and Ness, and Link, and Sora, and Daisy! She shows up in the end. And that is sort of one of the main issues of this film, the references. Not necessarily that there are too many, but the fact that Illumination and Nintendo, because this is a collaboration so they both bear responsibility, have these references to try and replace the need for the story. The visuals are great, the animation is expressive, but there is no strong narrative binding these things together to bring any meaning out of them. This was an issue with the first film as well, but the reason why this is more egregious in this film is because the Galaxy movie actually shows an attempt at actually having a story. You got Peach wanting to know more about her origins, Bowser reuniting with his son while being conflicted on his original plans for conquest, Mario and Peach potentially starting a romantic relationship, Rosalina's relationship with the Lumas, and, spoiler alert, the reveal that Peach is Rosalina's younger sister that Rosalina purposely sent away to protect Peach from a great evil. The movie actually begins to set the foundation for these potential arcs rather well, but then drops most of them halfway through the movie. Humorously, right as the film drops these arcs is when the pacing of the film spins wildly out of control, which is another criticism people have of the film. I feel that right as the crew have Fox fly them to the Bowser planet, all of a sudden Bowser Jr. shoots them down with a random baby ray, and then Yoshi is saving baby Mario and Luigi from the T-Rex in Super Mario Odyssey. Which is so bizarre, in a way. Even before this, Bowser gets randomly sentenced to indentured servitude for like 30 seconds by the Honey Queen from Honey Hive Galaxy before Bowser Jr. finds him. All of these excursions and distractions when time could be taken to add more to the story. I wanted to be invested. I wanted to be swept up in the music and atmosphere, but instead I got a half-hearted attempt. Which, as I said before, hurts more than the first movie because this one almost goads you into believing there is an actual plot, but then gives up halfway through. But what did I expect? This movie was made by Illumination Entertainment, the king of mediocrity. Sure, they have had their moments with Despicable Me, and I'll even be nice and say the second Despicable Me and both Sing movies. But overall, the studio plays it safe with formulaic, uninspired plots, good animation but nothing groundbreaking, and predictable jokes. Though I do have to admit that some of them are quite funny. Illumination was never going to make a film that even captured half of the scope and heart of Super Mario Galaxy. But I suppose I can take my bronze medal consolation prize of going like this every 5 seconds. However, now we turn to Nintendo, the other side of this collaboration. While I can certainly blame the shallow story on Illumination, I personally believe that the overemphasis of references might have come partially from Nintendo. I don't mean just bringing back obscure Mario characters or cramming as many musical references into the score as possible, but the more outlandish and jarring ones, like Rob the Robot, or the Pikmin, or even Fox freaking McCloud from Star Fox. Like, why are they here? Aside from cheeky references, there is a much more calculated reason. Advertisement. Now, Rob and Mr. Game & Watch are relics of a bygone era of Nintendo whose relevance has only been maintained by their existence in Super Smash Bros. Plus, their involvement, or rather distraction, from the plot of the film is rather minor. No, what I'm talking about are the Pikmin, because they are Miyamoto's favorite and he really wants you to play the Pikmin games, and especially Star Fox. Why is Fox McCloud here? Maybe because of a potential new Star Fox game that was leaked a few weeks ago that Nintendo is trying to subtly promote to spark some interest in this long dormant franchise. There is also a link of an Ocarina of Time remake, but that's not important to this video, though if I had to guess, the game is probably going to be made to coincide with the release of the Legend of Zelda movie being made. That's if either of these games are actually being made at all, and the leaks are correct. Either way, Fox's inclusion was to introduce the Star Fox series to a new generation of gamers through a film that a large majority of people would watch. I mean, look at those box office numbers. All of this to say, Nintendo is not entirely innocent when it comes to the quality of the Super Mario Galaxy film. I didn't mind Fox's inclusion in the story, and it sort of makes sense with Mario, Peach, Luigi, and the others needing a pilot to take them to the Bowser planet. But yeah, it just adds to the flatness of this film. Also, somehow Fox McCloud gets more screen time than Rosalina, and that just kind of rubs me the wrong way because of how great of a character she is. The post-credit scene of the film reveals Princess Daisy, and while this is cool, I don't really have any excitement because now I know that these films will not actually try to do anything interesting with her introduction. Oh, and that great evil is probably just Tatanga, or if we're gonna get really wild, the Shroobs, or even the Dark Star, but that's never going to happen. And even if it did, it wouldn't be done justice by the filmmakers. I know people will say that animation is just for kids and Mario games don't have any story, so I should just get over it. But kids deserve to watch quality films, and games do not operate in the same medium as film. There has to be more effort placed in different aspects to make a good product, even if it is lucrative. I just hope that maybe the Zelda movie will have more effort put into it, and if not, I always have the Sonic movies to fall back on. Anyways, that's all from me for now. God bless, Neon Star out.